Hello guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening everyone, and welcome to today's webinar, How to Successfully Achieve the PMP Exam in Your First Attempt. We genuinely appreciate your valuable time and your interest in our webinar. So thank you so much for joining. I can see that around 20 plus participants have joined yet. We are expected to join few more participants, but let's start now due to some time limitation. So let me quickly introduce myself and my company. I hope you already know about me. I am Harshad from Knowlathon IT Services. Knowlathon is one of the premium training and certification providing organization in India, headquarters in Pune and established in 2012. Knowlathon is one of the premium partner in this region. We are aggregated partners of PMI, ISACA, Exim, TUV, and many others. So that's bit about Knowledgeon. In this webinar, you will understand the process of PMP exam, and I'm sure you will get more clarity about the PMP exam question and answers. So are you guys really excited today? Yes. So before we dive, let me quickly introduce to our today's esteemed trainer, Mr. Saeed sir. By profession, he is an engineering graduate in electronics and communication and MBA in project management with PMI PBA, PMP ITL 11 and ITL 4 certified, having served for 25 years experience in training and development, knowledge management and e-learning and delivering the project management, business analysis and ITL training globally in all domain industries. So we understand that your time is valuable and we truly appreciate your being here today. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the chat feature and we will address those at the end of the session. Now, without any delay, I would like to hand it over to Mr. Saeed sir to kick off today's session. Welcome, Mr. Saeed sir.
Thank you very much, Harshad, and thank you for organizing this webinar. And I really appreciate each and every one of you taking out time today from your busy schedule and spending evening or might be morning. We have global participants. I appreciate your time, valuable time, and the keen interest that you have in this certification. I'm sure you might have heard a lot of myths about this certification. I have more than 25 years of experience and trained more than 25,000 people worldwide. I will be glad to share the experiences and demystify about this certification. I strongly believe you all have knowledge, skills, competencies, and you have been doing the work. So here I am to spend some time, and we'll spend a lot of time in question and answers so that each one of your questions and answers are taken care. So with this introduction, thanks a lot. The agenda for today's evening is PMP prerequisites. PMP stands for Project Management Institute. Project Management Institute is an organization that gives the project management professional certification. You have been hearing about PMP everywhere, and it is becoming mandatory by a lot of organizations. So it has its own value. We are going to take another seminar about the value and all that. So our understanding is that you all know the value of project management professional certification. And I'm sure most of you might have been dwelling with this idea of getting this certification as you know the value. So what are the prerequisites for this certification? And we'll also see what is the syllabus and how you have to start thinking from the global standard perspective. The other agenda points are what is the PMP exam structure and I'm sure you'll have a lot of queries on that. So I'm going to take you through the exam structure, how many questions, and after the training, how do we prepare for the exam, and what happens during the training, which is a global standard training by Knowlathon, and how we help you pass in the first attempt, and what is our approach. And when you go to the exam, what should be the mindset and how you manage the time during the exam. Remember, PMP exam is a psychometric exam. They are testing the psychology of the participants. As a project manager, are you able to handle these scenarios, situations? Nothing is left to the memory. Understanding is very important. So I will take you through all these things, how we conduct, what is the prerequisite. So let me start with the prerequisite. There are few prerequisites. The first is anyone who has a graduation, they are eligible for this certification. Some of them have only diploma. They had started their career very early. They want to get this PMP certification. Even they are also eligible for this certification. So the first criteria is you need to have qualification, your college qualification. And the second is you have to take 35 hours of project management training to go for this exam. This is mandatory, and without this, you cannot go for the exam. And this is where Knowlathon comes to prepare you for achieving this global certification. You'll be surprised. Every day, 3,000 people in the world take this exam. Now imagine what is the demand of this certification. Last 10 years, this has been number one certification out of top 10 certifications. So I'm not going to go more detail into that. So this is mandatory, and in this 35 hours, you are going to learn project management. And apart from that, our special course from Knowlathon gives you real time how to implement the project, share the templates, share the tips and tricks, and prepare you for the exam. We have been training globally thousands of people, and we are all certified by PMI to conduct this training. Apart from PMP certified, there is another certification that is required by PMI to conduct the training so that globally one standard has to be followed. So this is the most important part for this certification preparation. And this is where Knowlathon comes to make you comfortable, make you understand real-time implementation, and also get you ready for the exam. So this is the 35 contact us. And the third prerequisite is you need to show 36 months or 3 years of experience in the past 8 years. From today, in the past 8 years, you can pick and choose any work experience. Remember, this is a work experience. There is a global myth that I don't have the designation as a project manager. Am I eligible? I'm just from sales. How can I get a PMP certificate? For all those who have this question in their mind, just replace the word project with work, then all your myth and concerns will go away. Any work is a project. If you are going for a party, for a vacation, if you are doing a sale, if you are doing a procurement, if you are supporting the client for some period, all that work experience can be considered because every work has initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling and closing. And you can map any work as a project. And this is where we will handhold you in filling up the application, mapping your experience, etc. So let me recap. Anyone who is planning to go for PMP certification, if they have a graduation degree, that is reason 4 years or 3 years graduation degree or a diploma holder, they have to take 35 contact hours, which is mandatory, and they have to show 3 years of experience in the past 8 years. Some may have 15 years experience. It is not that you have to show from the beginning of your career, but from today, you can pick and choose any of it from the last 8 years. Now, what is that you are going to study in this 35 contact hours? There should be some syllabus, right? When we talk about exam, there should be some syllabus. So we call this as examination content outline. PMI does a global survey worldwide for 4 or 5 years. They study the role of a project manager in all the industries and domains in the world. And they come up with a document which we call examination content outline. In this examination content outline, you have domains. Domain is like one knowledge area or related topics. So there are 3 domains. One is people, the other is processes, and the third is business environment. If you recall, and if you think about the projects and the work that you are doing, it is nothing but you have people, then you have processes, and any project is to bring a change or to fulfill any business need. So this is how examination content outline. And in each domain, you as a project manager, what is the task that you do? And to do this task, PMI also suggests out of that study some enablers. Enablers are the things that will help the project manager to do the task. So this is task, and each task has enabler. So when we talk about building a team, capabilities, looking into the team, assessments that is to be carried out to find out the best fit and create a high performance team are the enablers. So like that, we have the task in people domain, everything related to people, stakeholders and team we will study in people domain. And you as a project manager are doing these tasks. You can be from IT, you can be from oil and gas, you can be from construction, you can be software development, you can be IT integrator, it can be any industry, banking, domain. But everyone as a project manager globally does these things. Then we move into the processes. For example, if you have to identify the processes, there is a process called identify risk. If you want to identify the stakeholders, there is a process called identify stakeholders, and you will come up with a risk or a stakeholder register. And the whole of the project planning, right from initiation to closing, you will learn through the processes. Then it also covers the third domain, which is business environment. You as a project manager should know what is the value that you are delivering out of this project. What is the benefit the customer gets? What is the change in an organization that can influence your project? So these are the topics which will be thoroughly discussed with live case studies. Then we also have a breakout room discussions. We practice the questions and prepare you for the exam. So this is how the syllabus is. And every question in the exam is to test you as a project manager. They will give you a scenario. Have you understood this scenario? And you have to select the best answer. So the next thing is we understood the syllabus, what it is. Now, how is the exam? A lot of people who prepare for this exam, they have a fear. It's very common right from our childhood. The moment we think about exam, we have some fear. So how is this exam and how is it conducted? It is a computer based. You can take from home or you can take from Pearson View Center. So wherever you are taking, we will guide you. We suggest that it is better to take from Pearson View Center because the risk will be on the center. Having said that, thousands of people are taking the exam from the home also. It is a computer based and you have 180 questions which you have to finish in 230 minutes. First, you will have 60 questions based on people. Then you have 10 minutes break. It's an optional break to refresh yourself. Then again, you have 60 questions on the process domain. Again, 10 minutes optional break. And final business environment, 60 questions. So throughout is this. Now, if you don't want to take these breaks, it is fine. But we highly recommend that you have to take the break so that it will refresh you and you can bring back your thoughts. So these are the two optional breaks. If you want, you can take. If you don't want, but we highly recommend you take the break. So what are the types of questions? Those who are aware about this PMP exam and certification, and those who know about all this, earlier, PMI used to have only one type of question, which is multiple choice question, where you have to select one of the best answer, radio buttons. But now, let me tell you, taking PMP exam, passing the PMP exam, and especially the methodology that Knowlathon has is a completely unique, and everyone is passing in the first attempt, and the exam is also becoming scenario based and easy to answer them because the way of testing has been changed. One type of question is multiple choice, what I've shown here. The other is multiple response. They will give a question and at the end they will say choose any two. So you also have multiple responses. Then you have match the following, drag and drop. Hotspot question, those who know, there's an S curve, we have to interpret the curve. Or filling the blank question, there is no need to type sentence or paragraph. You have to again interpret the data and type the answer A, B, or C, or D. There is no negative marking. And on the screen, you'll see one question at a time. You can go forward, you can go backward. And there is also a button called mark for review. If you have any doubt, you can mark for review, you can come back and you can change the answer. A timer will be there. to show you how much time from the start of the exam has happened. So this is the how the exam structure is, and the type of questions are, so that your mind should not be stressed by having same category of questions. They have introduced different type of questions. Now, having said that, what is the approach and the mindset? Remember, going to the PMP exam is like an Olympic where you study, but it is only the 1 minute race or 1 hour race or marathon or whatever it is. That is where you have to perform. So all the consultants of Knowlathon, including myself, we all have more than 2 decades of experience in managing. I myself have been a product manager, project manager, program manager, portfolio manager, business owners, consultants, coach. So the training is delivered with all these consultants who have a minimum of 2 decades of experience, and also who are certified by the PMI as an instructor. Apart from PMP certified, we are also certified by PMP as an instructor. So we create a pattern, we give you tips and tricks. It's like changing the mindset, always talking the vocabulary which is used in the project management standards so that it becomes easy, and you will also grow professionally in your work. And at the same time, we prepare you with the tips and tricks, real-time class study discussions, role play. We create a breakout room, make small teams so that they answer the questions, and then we come into the main session and we facilitate and we'll tell why you have gone this way wrong and what is the right. We'll also train you how to find the keyword, because every question has 76 seconds to answer. In 76 seconds, you have to read the question, you have to look into the answers, you have to decide, and you have to select. So we have a tested methodology that we use it in the classroom. We also share a lot of tips and tricks. How can you recall immediately the things? How can you relate the things? Because everything is a scenario based. And of course, as I said, to give the best value for the money that you are investing with us, it's not only the exam is the end result, we understand, but at the same time, making you the professional. So we also give some tests in between, and we support till you pass the exam, like application filling. If there are questions relating to the subject, you can avail the support system, so that the whole idea is just to get it done. Now, how do we prepare in the PMP exam? There are some steps. The first thing is sign up for training. You all have knowledge, you all have experience, and I'm sure most of you have been thinking of taking this certification. That is how we come across everyday people telling that, oh, I have been thinking last 5 years, 10 years. The first thing is, at the end of my presentation, Harshad will come back and again discuss how you can sign up for PMP training with Knowlathon. And once you sign up, you can also plan to get the PMI membership. It is an amazing membership. It is for 1 year. You can download all the standards, and there are thousands of videos, webinars. You can get connected with the global community. And apart from that, when you are going for exam, whatever you have invested, you will get it as a discount in the exam fees. So right from the day one, you sign up for membership and you start studying. once you have started studying, and you can submit the application. Our suggestion is the moment you complete the training, as soon as possible, complete the application. Because what happens, your mind will be free. Once you submit the application, it will be approved in 5 to 10 business days. And once the application is approved, you have 1 year time to take the exam. Now, how should we study? I don't have time. I'm a working professional. I hardly get time to open the book. Yes, you have to be a little bit dedicated. But as a rule of thumb, if you dedicate just 2 hours a day for a couple of months, you will be completing the study, taking mock test, preparing it. And once you are ready, then you can plan to pay the fees. As you're already the member, you will get a discount in the exam fees. Only after paying the exam fees, you will be able to schedule the PMP exam. Then go to the exam with the fresh mind, and you see yourself passing in the first attempt. So this is how you can plan as a project, as a journey to become and achieve a PMP certified professional. Now, exam, yes, there are so many questions, and exam time is also challenging. How do we manage it? Is it possible? Because when we see the question, we start thinking. But the training, but the tips will all help you in exam to quickly and effectively arrive at the answer. We have something called elimination rule, where we will train you on how to eliminate the wrong answers and quickly come at the right answer. There's a psychology rule will tell you, because this is a psychometric exam, how you have to think and how you have to interpret the keywords and how you have to select the best answer. Gut feeling rule. We work on projects, we work on assumptions, which we all know. So in the exam, how we can use the same facility and use the gut feeling rule, we'll train on that, and how we can use mark for review and how to find the keyword. So the moment you read the question, immediately you will easily be able to find the answer. So during the exam, we'll also train you in a way that all these rules you are able to follow, practice, and get ready for the exam. So this is what from my side about the small presentation which we have put to have a discussion with you all on today's topic, which is how to pass in the first attempt. So now let's open up for the questions. Yes, any questions, please? Nitin, are you there? Can you hear me? All of you, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Your voice is clear.
Okay. Okay, great. Thanks for that feedback. Nitin, are you there? Nitin has put a question in the chat. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, sir. Sir, you can tell the answer, bro.
Fine. So Nitin has put a question, which version of PMBOK guide needs to be referred, 6 or 7? Now let me tell you something. As on today, you have to refer PMBOK Guide 7th edition. Some of you might be having PMBOK Guide 6th edition, but remember, PMI has retired PMBOK Guide 6th edition. The PMBOK Guide 6th edition is purely based on processes. Now, just now we discussed that in the syllabus, there are processes and PMBOK Guide 6th edition is retired. At the same time, what PMI has done, PMI has launched another companion standard, and the name of the companion standard is Process Group Practice Guide. So Nitin has asked this question. So my assumption is he will be having 6th edition, which was around 948 pages, and which was based on the knowledge areas, 10 knowledge areas, and 3 chapters. So this is no more, you'll not find on the PMI website. And the same has been changed to Process Group Practice Guide. And the knowledge area has been retired, but the same 49 processes are here, and the same content is reorganized as initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And within this, the processes are available. And at the end, they have put tools and techniques. Because here, what it used to be, after every process, they used to give tools and techniques. So the word brainstorming used to come so many times. 7th edition is principle based. For example, be a caring, respectful steward is a principle. But with this principle, I cannot identify the risk. So today, PMI has coined a word called wow. It is your way of working. You are a project manager. There are 12 principles. You pick and choose any principle you want. There are 49 processes. You pick and choose anything that you want. And you will also be studying Agile. Those who are not aware about Agile, in the training, you'll be trained right from the scratch till you pass the exam, knowing the Agile. So you pick and choose all these processes and principles, and it is your way of working to make the project successful. So this is how it is structured, and this is how the whole material of PMP training consists of these standards. And I hope this answers your question. Nitin, does it answer your question? Great. Thank you, Nitin. What is the actual exam fee? Okay. Now I'll tell you two things. This is global fees and this is India pricing. There is a difference between these two. As a rule of thumb, first I suggested you become a $139 and pay the membership. Since you are a member, when you are going for exam, you have to pay only $405. The exam fee is $555. So you are breaking up first with membership. After 3 months, 4 months, when you are ready to go for exam, you'll pay the balance fee of $405. Now, similarly, I'm just giving you rough. You can check with the website. The membership fee in India, let's say it is $10,000. Sorry, 10,000 Indian rupees, INR. And the exam fee is around 23,500. Put together is 33,000. If you don't take membership, the examination fee is around 43,000. So that is the reason. Anyway, in 1 year, you are going to take the exam. So we recommend take the membership, start studying after 3 months, 2 months. Whenever you feel like taking the exam, at that time you have to pay the balance. Is that fine? So this question was from Sanmay. I hope that answers your question. Okay, great. Thanks. Which methodology you prefer? Prashant has asked which methodology you prefer, agile or waterfall. Okay. Now, let me put the same question in a different way to you. So, Prasenjit is a project manager. You have gone through the training where you will learn what is a waterfall method. Since our friend has used waterfall method, it means he should be from IT or software development or IT infrastructure. In the software development, we call SDLC cycle, software development life cycle, which is nothing but waterfall model where we do in a linear way, complete one phase and then go to the other phase. In 1970s, you saw there was a boom in IT industry and a new way of working came, which was known as agile, where intentionally you divide the phases into smaller so that the value is delivered within 1 to 4 weeks. That is known as agile. There is a third methodology, Prasenjit, which we call hybrid. You as a project manager, whenever you want, within the project life cycle of 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, wherever the scope is known, you will go with the waterfall. Wherever the requirements are changing, you will blend it with the agile. And again, next phase, you can be waterfall. So these are all the things that you are going to study. And then you as a project manager, you will learn how to decide. Remember, there's nothing good or bad in project management. You are studying project management, which has been adopted in 200 countries, millions of companies, billions of people are using it. PMI did a global survey and they said that 71% of the organizations in the world at some point of time they are using agile. That is the reason PMI has made mandatory that 50% of the questions in the exam belongs to agile. Everyone, someone from construction, oil and gas, nuclear, those who don't know agile, still they are also learning because it brings immense value. So to sum up your answer, it is you who are going to decide, and in the training, you will also learn how to decide the methodology. I hope that answers your question. Bharati, Prasenjit. Any other question, please? If the requirements are changing, then you prefer agile. If you know the scope of work, then you go by waterfall method. Any other questions? No one has asked me how much percentage is passing percentage. Good, you guys are not at all worried, right? That's nice not to know what is the passing percentage. Then where Scrum comes in this? Right. Again, we are going deep into this subject, but it is relevant. I'm going to dwell in what question you have put in a very simple way. Remember, when Agile framework came, 17 CEOs and IT professionals, they started that Agile is nothing but mindset change. Agile means agility, how quickly you can adapt to the change. When pandemic came, what we did? We became agile. Don't go out, we didn't go out. They put 4 values and they put 12 principles. Anyone does any work in this way, we call it agile. As on today, there are more than 50 frameworks. XP, TDD, Kanban, BDD, Scrum, Scrumban, like that. 50 are there, more than 50, and every day new are coming. So when it started, Jeff and his friend, they came up with one framework called Scrum, SCRUM. And the phases, what we do tell in the SDLC cycle, we call it here sprint. Now, why we call it sprint? This goes by the rugby game, which is very famous in US, where you have to deliver the goals fast, and they call it sprint. And that is the reason you will see the word iteration. This is used for generic 50 frameworks. If you see the word sprint, it is specific to Scrum. I hope that answers your question. Bharati, is it fine? Where the Scrum comes, it is a part of Agile umbrella. If you say 2 hours per day, in how many months one can prepare for this going by the syllabus? The first thing is you all have to believe in yourself. You all are unique. To pass the exam, you have to tell this yourself. This is not a rocket science. There are 14 million people in the world who are PMP certified. The least time taken by any of my students, they prepared 8 days straight after my training and they have passed the exam. Believe in yourself, have dedication, and we ensure we give knowledge, guidelines, and in the training we thoroughly test you by giving toughest scenario so that we prepare your mind, and it is up to you. Some people take long time to study. Some people, they take short time to study. So as a rule of thumb, it all depends on you. Like every project is unique. As a golden rule, we say for all this syllabus to be completed, standards to be read, you make your own notes. We also give the presentation slides. You take the mock exams, all put together. If you are investing 2 hours per day, within 2 months is a good time. But in between, within 1 month, you have completed all this. You're comfortable. The only thing is you have to test and ask yourself, are you ready for the exam? If you have knowledge and grab these things and you are getting good in the mock exam, just go and take it. I hope that answers your question. Vaishaka, which books one need to refer other than PMBOK guide? See, again, I'll tell you, it is a choice. Every book that comes in the world, I read it. Still, I read it. I refer more than 25 books. And when I studied, you'll be surprised. I used to have 4 English dictionaries, Chambers, Oxford, all this, because my pattern of study is different. If I understand the meaning of the word, I can understand the whole concept. So globally, there are some books, but what we encourage is, one is the PMBOK guide standard. The second is process guide, which is similar to the 6th edition. And third is the agile guide. These are the must, and our syllabus and our training, there's more than enough. Having said that, PMI has given 10 books for reference. If you put all the 10, it is 10,000 pages. On top of that, PMI puts a disclaimer that they can ask any question under the sky relating to the project management. But since every day we interact, we know who is passing, we get the feedback, we update our knowledge, we update everything. Apart from that, there are many study guides which we don't want, because there are some study guides, IT guides, IT people may like some cartoons. There is a study guide for cartoon. There's a famous globally one book which everyone does, because that is the first book released in the world. So some have that preference. So anything is fine, but all that is, if you talk, these are the 3 standards which are must, followed by our training and our material. On top of that, if you have a flair for different books, any study guide should be better. I hope that answers your question, Vishal. So passing percentage is not fixed. Yes, they say this is a psychometric grading exam. Every question has a 1 point. You will be taken to such a level that you are tested with other project managers and you pass the exam. Tell me the fee structure of PMP training. Our colleague Harshad will take you through. Thanks a lot, Bharati. This is what I do 24/7. Just now, I finished one training and just came here for all the SAP consultants of a big company. So, and it is a passion for us and as a company to serve. And anyone who shows the interest, we know the value. And go to the PMI website and check yourself. They have put the 2024 salary survey of the whole world. There is an increase in salary. Apart from that, your whole way of thinking will change. And when you have this, definitely it will have an impact. So that's the reason we want to see that everyone gets this value and grow professionally. Thank you for that feedback. Appreciate it. Any other questions? Will AI boom impact PMP? What is AI? It is nothing but a tool. Today, let me share. I told no, I'm just coming from this session. All these guys are 20 plus people who are handling global SAP implementation, ABAP modules, all these things. So there was a question from this person who is an architect in their company who is handling AI. And he was just telling his experience of, he's one of the few chosen guys in the world who has worked on a project. So during the lunchtime, he was just asking a question whether AI will replace the project management. I just said it is only the tool. In project management, what you're learning is what is the best tool. For example, fishbone diagram, Pareto chart. 400 years back, Pareto in Italy, an economist, He did a survey and found out that 80% of the wealth is with the 20% of the people. Even after 400 years, today we are using it as a 80-20 rule. That's the beauty. So AI boom will not. PMP is a certification to test your skill as a person, as a human being. Are you managing the high performance team? You have to understand. So AI will never replace. Yes, even in the PMI, there are many things related to AI. By the way, those who are very interested in AI, a special AI is on the PMI side. It is called PMI Infinity. It is helping the project managers to do the project management better. PMP is a professional certification to test you have an experience, you have a knowledge, you have sat for 35 hours so that you talk the global language in the world. All of you are managing global projects. So if you tell kickoff meeting, the person in the other country, other part of the world should know exactly what is the meaning of kickoff meeting. That is the reason they have made it 35 hours mandatory, that you understand. And when you know this terminology, vocabulary, the conflicts will be less, the projects will be done on time in a right way. And then they are giving the scenarios. How will you apply as a project manager? And the examination content outline what I said. These are the tasks. The AI cannot resolve the conflicts. So, as a human being, and by the way, let me tell, even as on today, the definition of a stakeholder is only human being. Though in oil and gas and automobile industry, we use automated robots. The live environment, a deer, a turtle, a rabbit is also a stakeholder. So real life is different, standards are different. To sum up the answer, AI is just a tool, expert judgment, like you go to risk manager to ask or a quality manager to ask. You use planning software. So like that, it will be a tool. Definitely it will facilitate, it will help, but this will not replace. Your certification is for you as a personality, as a person, to validate that you have skills. I hope that answers your question. Sanmay, thank you. So I will hand, thanks a lot. I really appreciate, and you can also forward the queries after this. And I'll request my colleague, Mr. Harshad, to take it further. And thanks for this opportunity. Yes, Harshad. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Harshit, can you
you
please?
are on mute. Harshit, sir, you are on mute.
Hello. Yes. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, sir, for doing this webinar. And thank you so much, guys, for joining this webinar. I hope you enjoy this webinar uh, and lot of knowledge you gain in this webinar. So if you have any questions, you can connect with us. Our team will get back to you. So once again, thank you so much. Thank you guys for joining this webinar. Thank you. We are ending this session now. Thank you guys. Thank you. Bye. Bye
There's a
everyone.
feedback. There's a feedback. I think we'd appreciate if you.
Yes. Yes. So I'm sharing that link.
You're sharing in the chat?
Yeah, you can share. Yes, yes, sir. I'm sharing in the chat.
Sure.
So guys, give us feedback on this link about this webinar. Yes. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Appreciate everyone for joining us, and we'll be glad to conduct many such sessions. Do attend, and we look forward in one of our trainings. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Bye, guys.